Casemiro. La 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 la. Casemiro. La 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 la. Ni él se lo cree.
How good is that, John? Casemiro. It's been stuck in my head for the last 24 hours, 40 hours. So now it's going to be stuck in yours. You're welcome. But this video, I'm going to be running through a fantastic interview with Casemiro. A nice long interview he gave with Brazilian outlet, I think TNT Sports. It's been translated and covered. We all knew how good Casemiro was at Real Madrid. Nobody knew how much of an impact he was going to have. But that man right there is becoming one of the cornerstones of this new Manchester United team under Erik Ten Hag. Let me run through this interview, everything he said about how happy he is at United, his relationship with Ten Hag, the influence he's having on others. You're really going to enjoy this video, trust me. So make sure you drop a like on it, subscribe if you're new. But let's talk about Casemiro. As I said, this is covering this interview that he did. Yeah, it was TNT Sports Brazil after the game against Reading. Look at that beaming smile on his face. The fucking fantastic bloke. But Casemiro, right? You remember those people that tried to write him off prior to him making his first Premier League start, which I think was Everton, that pass he put through to Ronaldo. And ever since then, game by game, the influence in this United team, he's just been growing and growing and growing. And so many people question whether Casemiro would have that sort of desire to succeed at Manchester United. Whether he's just like, man, he's won the Champions League 5 times. He's just probably going there for a payday. Not at all. His words, not mine. He feels he's enjoying himself like a kid again. Now, in this interview, as I said, I'm going to run through the main things he says, but it's fantastic. Let's run through the start of it now. This is what he said. He goes, when you arrive at a new club, you always dream of making history, especially if we see the greatness of Manchester United. But of course, I was aware of needing some time to adapt and of the rivals having a long-term plan before ours, like Arsenal, City and Liverpool. They've all had managers that have been there for a while, therefore have an advantage. But I'm happy with my adaptation here. My teammates and the staff are really helping me. Also with the English language, it's been quite hard, but I'm really trying to get better. Everyone here has been lovely with me, and since the first day, I feel at home here. I appreciate all the effort that the club has done to bring me here, John Murtough included. Now, he said that on more than one occasion. It's not the first time he said that. It probably won't be the last time he said that. Casemiro's kind of made it clear that United, we don't really know the ins and outs of what happened behind the deal for Casemiro. All we know is big up Veronique Rabiot and kind of big up Frenkie de Jong for not wanting to come, because we wouldn't have ended up with Casemiro. But he was obviously impressed with how United operated, did it, worked, and got him into the club. And he's grateful of that. But from that celebration against Chelsea, there are so many, you can pick out so many different moments if you want. That celebration against Chelsea for a lot of fans, myself included, was like, oh yeah, he gives a shit. It was at that point just that the nature of that celebration, it's not something I don't think you can really fake. Well, maybe you can. But he meant it. And Ten Hag has obviously spoken about his relationship with Casemiro and just how important he's been on the team. But I reckon even Ten Hag's surprised. He goes, we know he's a great player. In Madrid's midfield with Kroos and Modric, it was great. And I think he's capable. You see, offensively, he enjoys it. What I like is dynamic football with variations, many position switches. And he said, look, he's a really important player with all his experience, but he is such a smart player and intelligent. He knows the right positions, how to deal with the ball, and he's also really creative as well, and we are really happy with him. And you know what, right? I feel now, and this isn't really Captain Hindsight speaking, but we've never seen Casemiro have this much freedom, because in his pomp, he was just at Real Madrid working with Kroos and Modric, two of the masters in their positions in the game. So all Casemiro really needed to do was protect that back four and feed either Kroos or Modric. At United, as Ten Hag put it there, he is enjoying it when he's going forward from an offensive perspective. Now this season at Manchester United, he's got 9 direct goal contributions. Was it 5 goals, 4 assists, or 4 goals, 5? It doesn't really matter. 9 direct goal contributions, which I think is double or triple what he got last season at Real Madrid. It feels like he's almost shackled himself at Real Madrid because he was playing with Kroos and Modric. He didn't need to do anything more because they were taking the responsibility for it. But he's loving it and he's enjoying it, as Ten Hag said. And wow, we are lucky that we've got him. We really, really are. And this quote in particular, I loved. He said, I'm very comfortable here at Manchester United, extremely happy to be here. and enjoying every moment like a 15-year-old kid. Most important thing is to see the team growing. But you can just tell that Casemiro, it feels like he's found something at this point in his career that he hasn't had before. No, I'm not saying United is just, oh, wow, look, that Real Madrid team he was part of was special, one of the greatest teams there will ever be. But at United, he's taken on a different sort of leadership role. He is, instead of being the bridesmaid, Casemiro is the bride. And that's not something that, if you saw his interview when he left Real Madrid and he was in tears, he goes, look, I don't really do these sorts of things very well. I'm so used to sort of existing in the shadows. But he's firmly in the spotlight at Manchester United. And maybe he didn't realise how much he was going to enjoy it. But he is. He's thriving on it. And you know what he says? He goes, I'm not really doing that much special. I'm not really doing too much special. I'm doing all what I've always done. And here, when he speaks, this is an interview he did, look, what was it, 13th of Jan, 2 weeks ago, just over 2 weeks ago, and he spoke about Ten Hag and how impressed he's been with him. This is a two-way street. He's a very intelligent coach. He knows what he can do and ask from each player. I'd say he doesn't ask me for anything I can't do. Obviously, I can contribute to the team. The manager makes adjustments, of course, but he doesn't ask for anything different from what I've been doing my whole career. Nothing is special, of course. The league and the games themselves allow you to get forward more, but everyone, including the manager, knows my role. Bring the balance to the team. Support teammates. Play between the centre-backs. Provide cover for the full-backs. Help the midfield. Not only that, but that's where he's bringing this new element to his game that we didn't quite understand how. Casemiro is not a defensive midfielder, ladies and gents. We can now say that without a shadow of a doubt. He is just one of the greatest all-round midfielders you ever see. And these are his player ratings over on SofaScore. I'm not sure if it's every single game of the season, but I'm not doing this off the back of him scoring 2 against Reading. And there will no doubt be people who try and suggest that is the case, but it's just game after game after game. The level of consistency is unbelievable. And we missed him so badly against Arsenal. And that game against Arsenal would have been a game where we saw him be that defensive midfield powerhouse to protect that back four. But in games where he can get forward, Chelsea away, now Reading at home, and there's going to be other games across the course of this season too. Casemiro, he has far more to his game than any of us, I think, ever gave credit for. And you know what? Then I think even Casemiro knew. I think that's why he's enjoying himself so much. I think he's realising, fuck, there's more to my game than I even gave credit for. And at United, he's getting the platform to do that. But this is a big thing about Casemiro. What's making him so special is how aware he is of everybody around him. He is a leader and an example for so many of these players. He said this. He said, we have to see what the reality is, and we are still a club under construction. Of course, we are already respected. The opponents know we're strong. That we've got good dynamics. The manager is doing a good job, and the players are as well. United is a big club, and in my opinion, if we look at the titles, it's the biggest in England. In our lives, we have to have goals and challenges. It was a challenge for me to keep growing and developing in my career. The job is on, with a lot of humility, by knowing there's a lot to improve, but all the players need to be congratulated now. And that is what he is doing right there, ladies and gents. He is developing. Casemiro is showing a new, I wouldn't say new and improved version of himself. It's just, he's showing that there is so much more to Casemiro than any of us predicted, expected, or as I said, even he expected. And I love this part as well, where he talks about Anthony. He said, every goal that we score is a result of a collective effort. Every goal we concede is a collective consequence. There's no individual error in this squad. On my first goal, Anthony's pass was incredible. I know that people focus on who scored, but I wanted to give him a bit of love, as the pass was magic. He's an important player for us, and you saw it in his reaction on the pitch too. This is his celebration with Anthony after that goal. He's there, finger pointing, making sure the Stretford end, making sure Old Trafford gives Anthony the credit that he deserves from that goal. And it was one of the best performances we've seen from Anthony. Anthony is going to become a better player because he's in the squad with Casemiro. Fred is a better player because he's in with Casemiro. And you can say that about every single player we've got inside this squad. Manchester United is a better football club because Casemiro is there. Every player will be a better player because Casemiro is there. And Ten Hag will be a better manager because he's got Casemiro at his disposal, thinking in goals like that against Reading. But, oh, my God. This man. Come the end of the season, I honestly don't know who I'm going to say our player of the year is. Martinez has made such a substantial difference to the mentality and the quality of this team. But Casemiro, he's rivaling him. Both of them and Ten Hag are taking this team forward, as well as our other new signings, as well as players inside this squad as well. But you're looking at individuals, you look at moments, you look at transfers that have been made. This is quickly shaping up to be one of the best transfers we've made post-Fergie. Easily. And I hope that chart... I've got to hear it one more time.
Casemiro, la 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 la. Casemiro, la 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 la. Ni él se lo cree.
Mate, what is not to love about that? What is not to love about this bloke? Honestly, thank you, Veronique Rabiot. Thank you, Casemiro, for joining. And let's see where this journey ends. But I tell you what, he said it right there. He feels like he's a 15-year-old again. He's enjoying himself to that level. It's because I think he's finding out how good it is to be in the spotlight and how suited to it he is. He doesn't have to be in the shadows anymore behind Kroos and Modric. This is a Casemiro show we're watching. And big up Casemiro.